Hey there. So I just got this as a nice little Christmas present. It's the Korg NanoPAD 2. Now, of course, like anyone else would, I wanted to test it out in performance mode on FL Studio. And I suffered through the same issue that a lot of people have, where, it works as a proper MIDI device, like a general MIDI device. You were able to, hit notes with it and all that bullshit. But when you actually go in to try to, perform with the pads and shit that you have set up in the playlist, it still plays fucking notes. It doesn't play the pads. So this is kind of a common, I wouldn't say issue, because it's actually something that's really easy to resolve, because slight oversights tend to make things, seem like it's impossible, when in reality it's just a very simple procedure to get this thing to work with FL Studio's performance mode. So if you're like me, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was just as confused by it as well until I figured out the proper means of doing this. If you're like me, you looked it up and you saw this little page here detailing how you would set it up for performance mode. It tells you to go download something called Chord Control Editor. Obviously, if you click the link now, there we go. Like, it's not gonna find it, but all you need to do is just look up the software. They still have it on their site, and you'll be able to download it. This is what it looks like. So basically, once you have this software, you're able to configure the NanoPad or Nano Key, Nano Control, whatever nano product you have. Also the micros. Basically, all of Korg's products tend to use this, so you can reassign the keys and all that shit. This is what you're gonna need in order to get FL Studio to cooperate with performance mode with this little thing here. So the way FL Studio works is performance mode uses the very, very, very bottommost key. I can't really demonstrate because I don't have a proper MIDI keyboard, but it would start at C0. But as you can see on here, the notes start at C2, which actually translates into FL Studio as C3. So what you would then have to do is set it up so that way it's able to play like the bottommost note. The easiest way to do it, and fucking ImageLine makes it so easy for us, you simply go over to where you have FL Studio installed. There's going to be a folder called System. Go into System, go into Hardware Specific, and then you scroll down till you see NanoPAD2, and then you're going to see a Korg Control Center, or Control Editor rather, preset. This you will load into it. You can actually just double click and it will automatically, like if you have it open, as you see, it automatically reassign the notes. Now at this point, this is where everyone fucks up, because there are people who've said on forums that they've done this, they put on the preset, but it still doesn't work. The issue is, you set the preset on there, yeah, but it's not actually programmed onto this yet. It's kind of funny, but you have to actually write the preset onto the device itself. The device itself, has its own memory, I guess you could say. It will remember that specific preset, so that way you can use it with any other machine, and it would still have the same notes or whatever you assign to it. So under Communications tab, you're gonna hit Write Scene Set. Now before you do that, if you still have FL, using the device, you're gonna have to go over to MIDI settings and just disable it real quick, otherwise it won't be able to write. So you go over to Communications, Write Scene Set. It says it'll rewrite data on the NanoPAD2. By the way, this is actually reversible. If you go over to Microkorg's root directory, you'll see that they have factory settings for all their hardware, and they have one for the NanoPAD2. So if you do want to revert this, just in case, like let's say you want to use it for FPC and you want to have higher notes or whatever the fuck your case may be, you can revert it. So we're gonna rewrite the data. Takes a bit. There you go. Now, another thing you're going to need to do, because if you actually take a look here, I think it's under global, is it? I think it might be, I don't remember, but basically it's going to be using MIDI channel 1. So under the MIDI, settings here, you're going to want to select it and you want to make it port 1. You're going to do the same for the input here. I mean, output's not really needed. It's going to be enabled. And then you're also going to do that for performance mode. You're going to set that to 1 as well. So once you do all of that, you'll then be able to, You'll then be able to use it with performance mode. To demonstrate, I chopped up this little project I made. It will basically show you how it's got the notes assigned. It actually tries to just use 4 pads, and it's more vertical than you would expect. So hopefully I chopped this up right, because I didn't actually test it beforehand. I basically relayed the pads here because I realized the way this thing has it set up, it's a lot easier to show you than to just tell you. So you can watch me do it on here as as you see on the screen, how it expects it to be arranged, so that way you can take advantage of all the scenes. I think it's only going to use up to 2 scenes. I'm not going to play this track twice, so there you go. All right, well, wish me luck. There we go. I nailed it. So yeah, as you can see, the device works flawlessly. Just a little bit of an oversight tends to confuse people into believing that, software is just not compatible or the hardware is garbage. And quite frankly, little things like that, very, very easy to miss. So, but also very easy to point out. So with that said, I hope this, solves your little issue of the NanoPAD2 not working for you in FL Studio's performance mode. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Typical YouTuber bullshit. If you like what you saw, like the video, share. I don't give a fuck what you do, honestly. Just go make music, guys. That's all I care about. Later.